Oh, cool. Ghostbusters headphones. Do they help you listen to the podcast now?
No, Chris. What helps you listen to the podcast is silence.
Drain for Twinkies and coffee and a busted chain. No more donuts, no more caffeine rain. Just saving the city and feeling the strain.
Hello, welcome to the last of Petty Cash. My name's Darren McQuade, the Magic Ghostbuster, and this is the troublesome
Chris Carter, the Spirit of 84.
Well, Chris, have you had a good couple of weeks?
Not a bad couple of weeks, yeah. Tiring as always, work's been busy. Silly season, isn't it, as we get closer and closer to Halloween?
Yep, Halloween is only a few days away, really,
Yeah.
so this is a Halloween episode. Did you ever think the podcast would last this long?
I've got to be honest now, I'm surprised we made it past the first one.
I am, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I was very shocked.
Yeah.
I thought, yes, to be done. I thought maybe 2 episodes.
Yeah, okay, you was more optimistic than me.
Yeah, well, I'm the optimistic one in this partnership. But, yeah, Halloween is approaching, and although Ghostbusters isn't a Halloween film, it is tied massively to Halloween because it's about ghosts and spookiness and stuff. And yeah, so we're just gonna talk a load of crap in this episode, really, about Ghostbusters, I think, aren't we? We don't really have a specific theme. We're gonna make it up as we go along.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, we have no problem at all in talking crap. So
No, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
we'll find out. But any pickups this week?
Yeah, so we'll start off with this one. Anyone who really sort of knows me well knows that I really love original storyboards and original art and that. So I'm always on the hunt and the lookout for bits and pieces. This particular gentleman passed away a few years back. I'm more likely in excess of 10, and I've been buying for many years bits and pieces off of his widow. I bid on stuff on a regular occasion when it comes up. A few people have got wise to it now, and so I'm not getting as many, I'm not winning as many as I used to back in the early days. But I bid on this particular storyboard and I forgot about it, and I won it for next to nothing. And I already have a few of these in this section, and this is the scene with Lewis Tully when the terror dog is first seen. I have a few where the terror dog's busting through the door, etc. But this is where Lewis is running down the hallway. Great things these are. Real, nice things to own. Some of them you pay a lot of money for. Some of them you're very fortunate, and like this one I didn't pay a lot for. It's also interesting to see that all of the storyboards, these ones that I've got, and I don't know if you're going to see that on camera, but the character sketched in this is based on John Candy. Yeah,
who was originally supposed to play Lewis Tully.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to remember now, because he wanted to play it as like a German.
He wanted to play it as a German, like this sort of like ostentatious, over the top German guy with 2 large Doberman pinchers.
Yeah.
And they wasn't really Ivan, and that weren't really seeing it as that.
No.
And I think when you look back, we all love John Candy, and obviously there's the recent documentary that's come out about John, and we would have all loved to have seen John in it, but I think Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis was the right choice.
Right choice for him, without doubt.
Yeah, I think looking back, like John Candy doing it in that way, I think would have been a bit odd. I'm not sure that would have been. I almost wonder, like, obviously that story's been going around for years. I almost wonder if it was his way of, like, maybe he didn't want to do it but didn't want to say no, so he came up with this crazy idea.
I really don't know. But I mean, a lot of you will remember, if you've seen the Ray Parker video of Ghostbusters. Lots of people who were supposed to appear in Ghostbusters appear in the video. Yeah. Chevy Chase for one. Danny DeVito. Obviously, John Candy appears. So yeah, that's So we'll never really know. But as I say, great item to add to my collection. I do have a lot of these now.
Yeah, and do you know what? I'm sure it won't be long until someone does some AI version of John Candy as that version.
Possibly.
Over Rick Moranis, because AI is just getting absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like Rick Moranis was perfect. It'd be interesting to just sin.
Yeah, if there had been some shots or some outtakes or a screen test for John Candy, that would have been.
It's a bit like Back to the Future. Obviously, I don't know how many people are aware that Michael J. Fox wasn't the original Marty. They filmed for about 3 weeks with Eric Schultz.
That's right.
And I think the only tiny bit of footage that's ever been released is a little bit of him. I'm sure it's the scene where he sees his dad for the first time.
Right.
But it's literally just him sort of peering round, and there's no actual dialogue or anything.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see a cut of that, just that curiosity. Really.
I think that is it.
Because I just find stuff like interesting. It's like the preview cut of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It's like it's not something you'd sit down and watch over the original, but it's interesting.
Yeah, it is. You want to see the evolution of the film and that. So and where we ended up. So
yeah, absolutely. Just before your next pickup, did you have a pickup?
Yeah, I've got one more pickup.
Okay, I've got some as well. Social medias, so make sure you're following Last of Petty Cash on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple something, podcasts, and then individually you've got myself, the Magic Ghostbuster, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Vigo the Cosplaythian, Not Kid Friendly, Instagram, Facebook, and Spirit of 84 on
Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok. And also with South End and Sea Ghostbusters on all of those platforms as well.
Yeah, so make sure you're following us on all of them.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a couple of things. I actually meant to show these in the last episode, but then our light fell over, so I completely forgot.
We had a terror dog disaster.
First thing are these Coca-Cola stickers.
Yeah.
Really. Now, I bought a set of these years ago, and I had a massive issue with the seller. So it was on eBay, and they looked exactly like you see them here.
Yeah.
For anyone watching, it's a sheet of stickers. Some are Coca-Cola, some are Ghostbusters. It has like the Enjoy the First Buster thing on there. But when they arrived, I don't even know how to describe this. I can't find where I put them. The actual outer part had almost been cut away.
Right.
And it looked really odd, like someone had peeled the stickers off, cut part of the outer sticker away, and then stuck them back on. And despite sending pictures to the seller, they kept saying, no, I sent you the correct one. It's like, well, you didn't, because this doesn't match your picture.
Yeah.
I eventually got my money back. The seller was an absolute peck.
Right.
I got money back, didn't even have to return the thing. And I would have returned it if they were, polite, but sod 'em. But this one came up cheap. So it's a nice mint version, and so I bought that cheap.
Nice.
And the other one, I don't even know where it is. I might just flog it for a few quid to make it a prize or something.
Yeah.
Second thing, do you know what this is?
That's an everlasting lollipop from.
That is, yes. So I'm going to just suck it for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Okay.
This was from New York Comic Con in 2021. And this was from the first ever showing of Ghostbusters Afterlife, when they actually showed it at the film. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
At
the con.
Yeah, and they gave these away at the convention, and it's just a paddle.
Is it a paddle or a fan?
It was called a paddle, but you could use it as a fan.
I might be. Yeah, possibly.
And it has the Ghostbusters Afterlife logo on one side, and then on the other it just says Ghostbusters Afterlife exclusively in movie theatres. And funny enough, my girlfriend is a massive fan of the Bat Out of Hell musical, and I got her a Bat Out of Hell one of these for Christmas a couple of years ago. So yeah, there's that. I don't really know what I can say about it really. It's basically a lolly stick with a cardboard Ghostbusters logo on the end.
Yeah, everlasting lollipop.
Yeah. And it's weird, isn't it? Because like you look at stuff like that, and that was like obviously cheap to make, and it's a cheap product, but it's also rare, and that's what makes something collectible.
Find another one.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's worth a fortune, but it's find another one.
No. Did you have something else?
Yeah, one more thing. So again, obviously, like everything, we're always looking for something Ghostbusters wise and that, and something just sort of tweaked my interest the other week. I was scrolling through early morning while I was at work, and there was a really good deal on the Extreme Ghostbusters box set. UK seller, really cheap, about £20 for the complete collection. And I thought, you know what? I've only ever briefly touched on one episode, so yeah, I should buy it. So that's now sent me on this terrible deep dive into Extreme Ghostbusters. And
whole new world of merch.
yeah, that's a worry. I've even bought a couple of figures since I've started watching it, and I've really enjoyed it. I've accepted it as something different, with a small crossover as such into like, you know, where we come from with the original real Ghostbusters. Yeah. But I like it. I think it's dark. I like the ghosts. I think it's nicely paced. It doesn't try to pretend to be the real Ghostbusters.
No, it's and I didn't give it a chance back in the day either. You know, when it first came along, I was like, well, that ain't my Ghostbusters, and I found the name a bit, you know, weird. Extreme Ghostbusters. I just found a bit lame at that point in time, if I'm honest. But again, I revisited it a few years ago because the character Kylie in that actually was brought into the IDW comics later on, which made me sort of revisit it a bit. And like you say, it's great. Yeah. It's actually a really good series. It maybe just come out at the wrong time.
At the wrong time, yeah.
And you had toy lines. I mean, I bought some of the figures over the years, and just it's not something I've ever paid a lot for, but I've bought like the figure. I don't have any deluxe figures, but I have the regular ones. I've bought like some squishy balls and a few odds and sods for it. Basically, don't have all of it. Yeah, I'm sure we will eventually, but yeah, it's a great series, and I like the fact it's a sequel to the real Ghostbusters because it's set years later once, you know, the Ghostbusters have moved on. And
yeah, I mean, like the first episode, without being sort of a spoiler and that, is like, you know, Egon thinking that, you know, they can't trap ghosts and do what they done, you know, and that could they upgrade the equipment they had, and there's lots of explanations in it, and then I think there's a couple of episodes where we get the rest of the Ghostbusters crew back together.
Turn up. Yeah.
So I really, if you're into Ghostbusters, give it a look. You know, for £20 for that complete box set, it's really worth it. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing just to bear in mind is that there was a DVD that came out years ago which is not complete. The complete one, I think, is maybe come out a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
So just be aware of which version you're buying if you want the complete. You might not want the complete, you might just want the few episodes. Also, I believe that might be Region 1 only.
I can't remember.
I got a version for my birthday that's Region 1 only, and I could be mistaken. As far as I know, the complete version only came out in Region 1.
Right.
Which means you need to code your DVD player.
Yeah.
Which most DVD players, you can put a code in on the remote, and it does that nowadays. But I remember when DVDs first came out, you had to pay like £200 to have them chipped. Or something
that's
like
right.
That. Yeah, but unfortunately my DVD player's broke and I have no way of modding my Xbox, so I need to actually get a DVD player to watch it. But yeah, great series, absolutely love it.
Yeah, no, and it's quite interesting because when I started to look at the artwork and that, and trying to get my head around what year it come out, it reminded me like my kids used to watch a series called Recess, and Recess was done by Disney, and there was certain aspects of the artwork that sort of crossed over between the two, and obviously the real Ghostbusters also was on the Disney Channel, and it also came out in '97 when Recess came out. So there was obviously a lot of crossover with the art styles back then, you know. But a little cheap pickup, and it's opened another new world in Ghostbusters for me.
Yeah, so, which Chris's wallet isn't happy about.
Yeah, such is life. Yeah, I can live with that one. So
yeah. Well, I have one other thing to show you, which you'll be interested in, because one of these is yours.
Oh, right, yeah, I'm super interested now.
Yeah. These are Ghostbusters 2 cinema cups. And these are from one of the theatres over in America, called, you pronounce that, because I don't want to sound silly.
So let me just...
Santikos?
Right, let me just get the old Ecto goggles on. Santikos, I reckon.
Yeah.
Santikos.
Yeah, so there was a few different Ghostbusters 2 cinema cups back in the day. The one we got over here was the basic logo with like yellow and white around it, which is, you know, they're quite hard to come by, but they do pop up. They're never a very expensive thing. But one of my favourite items, just because of the memories attached to it. And I remember having that in the cinema. My original one got scratched, you know, so much I had to buy a new one on eBay eventually. But that was a lot of coke for young Darren. I spent half that film in the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my dad brought it home on a pirate VHS, and we watched that several times. I'm not sure I should admit that.
No, yeah. But no, these are really nice, really cool.
Yeah, I really like this because that same cinema cup, they done a pretty much the same version in America, but AMC, which the only difference on the UK one was the cinema chain was written across the top on the AMC one, and then I think this is actually my favourite one. Just the skyline, the colours.
The colours, everything. I really like that.
It will never beat the original one that I had just for nostalgia, but if you base it on looks, I actually think this is the better one.
Yeah, no, nice cut. Really like that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what other ones. There's the Hardy's one.
Yeah.
And I have another one, which I think might come from Australia at home, which has Vigo and all sorts of designs around it.
I think I've seen that one, I don't think it's one I actually own, but no, I really like that. And it's really funny because of late, Ghostbusters 2 has so come into its own, and we just seem to be lots of Ghostbusters 2 items turning up and sort of like, winning little bits and pieces.
And this was good because again, these sorts of things, they're from America, so when these turn up, generally it's like the item might be $10, but then you end up spending $30 just to ship it. And luckily these come up as a pair, and I can't remember, I think they worked about 20 quid each by the time we shipped them. So yeah, I'll message Chris and I was like, do you have one of these? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, really nice.
Very happy with that, and yeah, like I say, Ghostbusters 2 just seems to be coming into its own quite a lot. Halloween.
Let's fast forward to Halloween. Plans this year for you, Darren, with Halloween?
Well, I'm running a pumpkin patch local to us, or Pumpkin Palace, I think we should call it.
Okay.
So kids are going to come in.
Makes me think that there's princesses in it if it's a pumpkin palace.
There's like a pumpkin princess.
Okay, right.
There might be, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I am royalty.
Yeah. And
Lord Vigo.
He is a bit of a princess at times as well.
So that's my plan, and that will be running pretty much for the last 2 weeks in October. So at the moment, I'm just. I say that we're recording this a bit early because so actually that'll be going on as this airs. We're filming this a little early just because of we're going to be too busy.
Yeah, that's it. Close to the time.
Yeah, but yes. So hopefully it's going well.
Yeah,
as he says, it might be a disaster. I might just told him.
No, well, I don't know. I've got to be honest.
Big explosion or something.
Yeah, an exploding, over-fermenting pumpkin.
But yeah, I'll be doing a Ghostbusters magic show. I have my display up and all that, so kids will be able to come in. There'll be usual Halloween stuff, monsters and all that I'm putting up. Should be really good.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, other than that, I don't really have much else planned for Halloween, really, other than just watching Ghostbusters over and over, I suppose. How about yourself?
So obviously this year's a little bit quiet on the Halloween front. It's a really difficult time for us because obviously as a family, we normally have the neighbours in. I've put a little bit of a display on outside. It's never necessarily just Ghostbusters. It could be anything that I sort of fancy because I've got a vast amount of Halloween props. So we tend to put a few bits and pieces outside. We have a lot of local kids come and knock that have been coming here for 20 odd years. Some are now adults and bringing their own children. We tend to have a bit of food. Amanda does a nice bit of food. She's got some good plans this year. And we tend to just sort of spend it with the family. So, and again, we tend to put a couple of spooky films on and just have a nice evening of it. I have got the Southend-on-Sea Halloween parade with Southend-on-Sea Ghostbusters possibly. I think that's on the 25th.
Which I think will be yesterday for those watching.
So that's I'd have already done that. Hopefully. Yeah. So that's.
And you've done that before, haven't you?
Yeah, we've done this quite a few times. We've had it with Carl, like with his Ecto. We've also. I had an eventful one with Ross, and a lot of you will know Ross Hutchinson's car. It's incredible. It's a beautiful Ecto.
But like all cars, it needs a certain thing to run.
Yeah, and it's a really. I don't know how many of you are petrol heads. Obviously not Ross, because it was the one thing he forgot to put in the year we had his car down there. And yeah, my granddaughter rode in the front with Ross, and
Granddad was pushing.
yeah, she went, Granddad. I went, what's the matter? So she said, Ross has run out of petrol, and I was like, yeah. And he looked at me and went, no, I've run out of petrol. So yeah, for the next quarter of a mile, we gently pushed Ecto 1 and trying to make it look like we wasn't pushing it, and never again.
Yeah, yeah. If you've never seen an Ecto 1 in real life, I think they're bigger than you could ever comprehend.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you see the film, you know it's a big car, but I don't think it ever prepares you for how big that actually is.
No, it doesn't, and it was heavy and exhausting, and Ross, I still haven't forgiven you.
No.
But you know, that's all part of it, and it made people laugh, and we had a really good time. And
yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful Halloween parade in the fact that it goes down the Southend-on-Sea seafront. So obviously we are quite well known in the area.
Yeah, and you know, if you've never been to Southend, I mean, it's a lovely seafront down there, and there's a fish and chip shop down there called Fish and Wish. Me and my girlfriend really love.
Right.
So, definitely eat there if you go there. And I'd love to do the parade one year. It's just because of my job being an entertainer. It's always on a Saturday night, and I'm generally working. And yeah, hopefully one year I'll be able to get down there. And I think even like this year, I am free on that night, but it's just the timing wise, me getting there in time to get there, it just wouldn't work.
And the problem is as well is the crowds. I mean, I will say, the crowds are like nothing. You know, obviously I've done lots and lots of events with the group and that, you know, we've done all the big major comic cons, everything, but the crowds at Southend-on-Sea, if the weather is clement, you know, bearing in mind it is on the seafront, but if the weather's good, you can expect crowds of 40 and 50,000 people easily, if not more. You know, and everyone wants to high five the Ghostbusters, and yeah, we've had some really good times down there with the guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's an interesting fact for you. So, for anyone who knows what Only Fools and Horses is, probably one of the best British sitcoms. And funnily enough, James from our group and Cole dressed up as sort of Ghostbusters trotters, didn't they? Which was quite a cool picture. There was an episode called The Jolly Boys Outing set in Margate that was originally supposed to be set in Southend-on-Sea.
Oh, was it?
It was, yeah.
No, I didn't know that,
The only thing that changed the location was because of the Chaz and Dave song, Down to Margate.
Oh, right, okay.
So that dictated it. But yeah, it was originally supposed to be set in Southend.
Yeah.
So Southend missed out, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, Margate was always the home of the Beano. That was where...
I'm going to be honest, I'm going to offend someone who's listening from Margate now. But I went to Margate the first time in my adult life. I was probably 30 because of that episode, and it was so disappointing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I ain't going to say anymore because we'll get complaints.
Yeah.
But I was not happy. It was a bit like the first time I had a Twinkie was another disappointing thing in my life.
Oh, yeah, well, I ain't going to have that. No, there's not such thing as a disappointing Twinkie. Yeah. The only disappointing thing about a Twinkie is there's not another one to follow it. So...
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Twinkies. You can have my Twinkie.
Yeah, okay.
I forgot what we were saying there.
So, Halloween. Yeah, so obviously with Halloween on our doorstep, as we're saying at the moment, there's quite a few bits and pieces turning up on all the usual websites as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
So...
you've got loads of Halloween merch out there. In fact, I'll just mention this quickly. Earlier in the month, in fact maybe late last month, Asda, which in the UK at least, I don't know what other countries have Asda, we're doing some Ghostbusters pyjama bottoms / lounge pants.
So Asda is Walmart, owned by Walmart in America.
I thought Walmart sold them off.
Oh right, but they might well have, but they used
might.
To be.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
They definitely did own Asda at one point. Now's probably the time to see if they've knocked them down in price.
Yeah, because as I say, but bearing in mind we're only a couple of days away from Halloween. Yeah, if they were going to reduce in price,
because normally what happens now is they start pushing all the Halloween stuff to the back and getting the Christmas stuff in front of it, even though Halloween isn't even here yet.
Yeah,
which I find really annoying. But
yes,
won't be long until we're filming our Christmas episode.
Yeah,
let's not go there.
But there's on the front of things which have recently come out and that. And you more likely have seen these if you're sort of keeping your eyes open. They've done, I think, is it Halloween Costumes have done the Scoleri brothers.
Yeah, they've done Scoleri brothers. They're listed as animatronic, which I think is a little sneaky. To me, animatronic is motion.
Yeah.
But they're not. They just light up and make noises.
Right, okay.
I'm going to be honest, I don't like Halloween costumes business practices because they have this thing called dynamic pricing.
Right.
And you notice it more with the inflatable Stay Puffs, where you could look at that today, and 15-foot Stay Puff might be £300. You look at it tomorrow, it could be £600.
Right.
And they just base it on popularity and all that. I think that's a really crappy.
Yeah, it's not a good business model.
No.
Yeah.
But hopefully, after Halloween's gone, the demand will go down. Hopefully, it'll push prices down, and that's the time to buy that stuff. Unless you specifically want it for Halloween, I think most people listen to us want that stuff more for probably their convention displays and that sort of stuff.
I will say, right, and obviously we'll never know the truth behind it, but obviously these Scoleri brothers come along and they're full-bodied, and they're a reasonable size, aren't they?
Yeah.
Nunzo is possibly not quite as rotund as he should be.
Yeah.
But our very own Kieran Walker of South Tennessee Ghostbusters made some Scoleri brothers.
Yes, using their masks.
About how long ago?
I'm going to say
about a year ago,
I think.
Yeah, and there was a big thing about them, and Jason put them on Ghostbusters News. Lots of people commented how amazing they were, and in all fairness, Kieran made an incredible job of these.
Yeah, and I will say his ones are better than the ones that you can buy.
And it just does make you wonder whether
they're watching.
They're watching, and they saw what he'd done and thought, because they look. I know, like, there is a likeness to the Scoleris, but they look very much like what Kieran's done in many ways, but not quite as good. So yeah, I'd take that as a form of flattery, mate. I still think yours are the best, and you was the first to do it. So
yeah, no, absolutely. And they've always gone down well at conventions. I'm waiting for Halloween costume to do a Vigo costume because I'm curious to see what they'd do with that.
That would be tat.
Oh, it would be, but I'd almost feel like I'd have to be the one to buy it and review it.
Yeah.
Just because I am Vigo.
Yeah. Yeah, well, as I say, that is a possibility. I mean, on some of these, on like Halloween costumes, there's lots of the cheaper end items and that available for Halloween at the moment.
Yeah, they've got light up pumpkins of Slimer and Stay Puft. I've actually got those. Not so much the Stay Puft one, but I really like the Slimer one. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else they've got now. I think they've
got some candy buckets as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they got stuff like that. They recently did an animatronic Terror Dog, which they're not shipping to the UK, annoyingly.
Yeah.
Again, not full size. They often pitch these things as full size. It won't be in stock now, I guarantee it, but Garaka come back in stock.
Oh, right.
They originally made 12. And then they made another 12, and last time I checked, they had like 3 left.
Right.
And the price had shot up as well.
Yeah.
I think I paid probably $500 for mine, and now he's like $750.
Yeah, I mean, and no disrespect to Darren's Garaka, because it's a great Garaka. I really like it.
I personally think it's the best Garaka out there.
Yeah, it looks the part,
but it's just not tall enough.
It's not quite tall enough. And it's not as robust as it should be for the money you're paying for.
No, it's like the foamy sponge.
Yeah, it's
material.
like a very lightweight latex, isn't it?
And that is really the issue. So I brought it along to one convention just because I wanted to bring it to one, but I just said to the guys, I just don't really, because I bought. I'm a collector, so I buy my stuff more as a collectible than to take to conventions. Not that I won't take stuff, but that I just like, because it's so rare, I just didn't want to bring it out. Now, ideally, if they had mass-produced that and made loads of them, I probably would have done, and I probably would have modded it, because ultimately, you could put, because, top half is scale, really. Yeah. It's the skirt that's long.
Yeah. And again,
that
was listed with light up eyes.
Oh yeah, you didn't have light up eyes.
It didn't have light up eyes, so it's a bit a little bit sort of misleading as to.
Yeah, and it's a shame because it looks amazing.
Yeah,
like,
definitely does.
Absolutely looks stunning. But yeah, it's just I would worry about, especially if, and the trouble is with us, with you know, our displays, we've got so much stuff between us that you can't just shove in the back of a car.
No.
Yeah, because normally we will team up. Like normally, you know, I'll drive to Chris, we'll shove stuff in Chris's van, and then we'll go meet the other guys there. But when I took Garak, I was like, I'm driving myself, he's sitting in the back seat, I'm not bringing anything else.
Yeah, the logistics of moving stuff. I mean, the group has a terror dog, which I purchased off of the guys from Wales last Christmas time. He needed quite a bit of TLC to get him back to where he was. He's been an absolute hit at the cons, but the size of him, because he is closer to full size than the Spirit and the Halloween costumes one, makes him difficult to transport. Even though he breaks down into 4 pieces, he's a beast. Yeah, and that is a serious problem. And just remind me of one thing actually. If you are in a country where you can buy that animatronic terror dog and you use it at events, you need to be so wary of people sitting on it. Yeah, we do have this whole thing where people can be. You put on a big show or a big event, and people can be a little bit disrespectful of props. Unfortunately, you know, 99% of the people will be nice, but unfortunately, you'll get the occasional arsehole, wouldn't you? It's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Yeah, and I think I remember, going back some years, I remember Jeff Lewis with the Arizona Ghostbusters doing a convention, and some lady who sort of jumped on his car, on his Ecto, and sprawled herself across it without asking him. It was only because somebody had sort of said, you know, did you see that woman like laying across your bonnet or whatever, you know. I don't think they grasp how much some of these things are to build, to make, and you know, we do it for the public's benefit and to give everyone a nice time. So it just amazes me that people have that mindset, like they walk into something, they think they can just treat people's stuff like that. And, they have the right. And unfortunately, as nice as me and Chris are, we can be quite snappy as well when people deserve it, and we're not afraid because we are both martial artists as well. So if you want to sit on our terror dog, you might end up with an elbow strike. But so as I say, coming around to Halloween and that, obviously there's quite a lot going on. I mean, I think that in a lot of the local cinemas there are some special showings of Ghostbusters floating around, and Ghostbusters 2. And it's nice to see Ghostbusters 2 getting shown, because we went to a showing, I believe it was last year, wasn't it? And that was the first time I'd seen Ghostbusters 2 in the cinema since I was a kid. So that was really nice to have done that again. Again, it's nice to see it going back in the cinema, because normally it's Ghostbusters 1. And that's it. Obviously we're a little bit spoiled for choice now, because obviously we have a few films to choose from, so that's sort of really cool on that. There hasn't been, obviously, other than the bits and pieces which we spoke about in the previous episode, the stuff going on at New York Comic Con, there hasn't been a lot of major merch dropping for Halloween. No, there hasn't really. Most of the merch I've bought, which hasn't arrived yet, so it's not something to talk about in a future episode, is older stuff. You know, that I've bought and just waiting to turn up. Going back to Halloween costumes, I just remembered something where they done a live stream, this is probably 6 months ago, it might be longer than that, and I just commented, you ever going to make a slime blower? And they just said it's on the list. Now, I don't think it will be, one, they might not even do it. Just because it's on a list doesn't mean it get made. Two, I doubt it'll be full size. Because that is, like we said about the Ecto, when I don't think you appreciate how big they are until you see one. I think it's the same with a slime blower. Because I remember being convinced that one of the HasLabs was a slime blower, because there was so many, I don't know if this was the 2 in the box teaser trailer. There was so many slime references in it. And even at the end it said something big is coming. So slime blower. I actually don't, as cool as the 2 in the box is, I don't think the 2 in the box matched what they promised in that trailer. Because to me, as cool as it is, that does not match something big is coming. I mean, you know, I've spoken to Hasbro a couple of times regarding it, and they are adamant they will never make a slime blower. That it would be cost prohibitive. The size, the shipping, everything around it would be, you know, ridiculous. I mean, just the gun. Just the gun is ridiculously big. So I don't think, I think the only way that's ever going to happen is if you set about making your own one, and good luck with that. You know. It's,
and as I mean, James from our group has got one. It's all aluminium tanks and all that sort of stuff, which looks lovely, but
the weight.
Jesus Christ, that is heavy.
Yeah, I think I've worn it a couple of times, and that's a couple of times too many for me.
Yeah, and I mean, I have some back issues anyway, so I'm actually, in fact, I'll go on to their proton pack in a minute, but I actually quite respect James to how long he wears that pack at Slime Blow at a convention.
That's no sense, no feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Halloween Costumes have brought out a new proton pack as well, which at the moment is £225. Obviously, we said dynamic pricing, it could be 400 quid now.
Yeah.
But for the price, it don't look too bad. I mean, it depends on how fussy you are. It has an Alice freight, or not an official Alice freight, but it has all that. And because I have some back issues, my main pack is a Ben and Kent pack. But the older I get, the more I think, do I just get a lighter pack? To and that is attracting me in that sense, You can mod it, give it a paint job. I wouldn't go to the extreme of making it as screen accurate as possible, but I think it'd be good as well for parades and things where people are not close enough to examine it properly, and weather could be an issue when you're outdoors. Something you're less fussy about getting damp, because there's the electronics.
And that,
so if it goes cheap, I might be tempted just for a lighter pack for conventions and stuff, but.
While we're on the subject of props and that, and talking about things like that, you've seen us in the past talk about Martin Bryce from Shapeforge Props. He does the real Ghostbusters pack. He does Afterlife packs. Does all sorts. So Martin's a great guy to deal with. He's currently. These spaces might have gone by the time you watch this.
I'll be willing to bet money there.
Yeah, because if you know what the quality of Martin's work is like. I would say, even if the spaces are gone,
let him know you're interested.
Let him know you're interested, because I promise you one. I will stake everything I own within reason on the fact that Martin will never ever see you without the item that you purchased. He did have some spaces open for slime scoops from GB2. They're beautiful. I mean, visit his website, have a little look at them. I think they were retailing at about £400. If that's, I mean, I've already got a slime scoop. I love it. It's a great item. It's worth giving Martin a shout, so take a look.
Absolutely. And and like you say, you've dealt with him, no issues. There's another prop maker. I'm not going to name who's made a slime scoop, or I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot barge pole.
With a 10-foot slime scoop.
Yes, absolutely.
But
if you know, but we're not going to say anything.
No. But as I say, Martin's a good lad, and if you want a quality piece of kit that you're going to get and you're going to be happy with, so reach out to the guy and give him a shout.
Yeah, absolutely. So one other quick thing, going back to Halloween costumes, was they've done a smoking trap, which I've not actually watched any reviews on, so I couldn't say how good it is, but the concept sounds good.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, it plugs into an actual fog machine.
That's correct,
so I don't think it smokes itself.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah, it's not a standalone unit. I think the only problem with these, I've dealt with some, fog machines quite a lot over the years, and that you are going to be restricted on where you can and can't use them.
As someone who works in entertainment, and a lot of venues, they can be, especially nowadays, they can be very fussy on you being allowed smoke machines. So if you ever go to a convention or anything, don't just turn on a smoke machine. No, you get permission for that, because otherwise you cause all sorts of problems.
Yeah, God forbid you set off a fire alarm. It's there's a financial sort of penalty with that, with the fire brigade turning up automatically.
Absolutely, and you might just think, it was only a laugh, or it was only a mistake, but that could very well stop your group getting invited back to something.
Yeah, so be very mindful of fog machines as well. As regards the reason a lot of these conventions don't like them, even if they're in large halls, it's not just the fact that you have to take into account smoke sensors, things like that. It's also people sensitive to stuff like that.
Yeah, there's all that sort of stuff, and people can go silly with them. You know, you might go, oh, it's only going to be a bit of haze. That builds up so quick.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, yeah, just be careful of that sort of stuff, really. Get permission every time on that sort of stuff. If they say no, don't argue it, just accept it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's not worth not keeping the promoter on side when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, because ultimately they're the ones you want to keep happy, and
hopefully you'll get invited back.
Yeah, and if stuff starts going around about you being difficult to deal with, that might get to another promoter and another con, and before you know it, you ain't doing anything. Yeah,
and we've had that situation. We've picked up a few gigs where it's been they ain't happy with the last group. Could you? Step in and do it. And
and it's funny because I've always said you can't, because I've seen it before where we've been accused of stealing jobs, and I've seen other groups accused of stealing gigs. But if you're doing a good enough job, you can't have that convention stolen off you. No. Basically. So if you've lost it, you really need to look in the mirror. I'm afraid.
That's it. Because
as harsh as that sounds.
So hopefully going towards Halloween now, you've got all your kit together. If you haven't, with 4 days to go, you're going to be pushing it. Because it is one of those times of year when suddenly everyone wants a proton pack. Yeah, everyone wants to be a Ghostbuster. You've got to be patient with your guys that are building your packs within reason, okay? Because, they are put under a lot of pressure with things like that this time of year. So try and be a little bit understanding. It's no good. As I say, a fortnight before Halloween, you suddenly go, oh, I want a proton pack. Yeah, and then think you're gonna, get one. All right, you might get one from Halloween costumes, but if you want like a good quality Ben Kent, for example, it's unlikely to happen. Yeah, and it's funny in the entertainment world, the amount of calls and emails I've had for, are you available Halloween? Yeah. It's like, no, you should have booked me over a year ago. Yeah, exactly. And the same happened at Christmas. People just don't think that far ahead when really, I know it sounds crazy, but you should. Yeah. Especially for these key events. Especially if you want to be in the communities and all that and do the events. You do have to plan ahead. So thinking back, we're briefly talking about things that are coming forward for sort of like Halloween time and that. I know we discussed books a little while back, and we showed on there the Magnolia Tobin Spirit Guide, which is incredible. Magnolia have recently announced Spade's catalogue. Yeah. So I've forgotten about that. Yeah, so I haven't, because that's so much on my Christmas list. I don't know how long before they're taking pre-orders. I would think before the end of the year. As soon as we know a little bit more, we'll update you on that. All I will say is, if Tobin's is anything to go by, do not miss the boat on this. It's a pretty cool item, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely incredible. So again, if you want. Even if you're one of these guys, we've talked about this with collecting and that, you don't collect everything, but you might have 20 or 30 high-end bits. You might have a proton, a really nice proton pack. You might have a nice set of ecto goggles, nice trap, a couple of nice books. These are the ones you add to your list. Yeah, because the quality of that Tobin's Spirit Guide is just insane. It genuinely looks like you've got into Razor Cult and bought it. Yeah. That's how good it looks. And I have no doubt Spade's catalogue will look the same. Yeah, so I'm quite excited for that one. So as we get close to sort of wrapping up, we'd love to see any photos of anything you're doing over Halloween. Yeah, definitely. So obviously post them in the comments on our Facebook and Instagram page. Can you post? I can't remember. You can post photos in. Instagram comment. Do it on our Facebook page. Yeah, on our Facebook page. We'd love to see them. Unfortunately, you can't do pictures on YouTube, and I don't know if you can on Spotify. No. Again, I'm not sure, but Facebook. We'd love to see them. Yeah, we'd love to see your displays. We'd love to see the events you've been at. It's a great time of year. So these would be really amazing if you could. Yeah, absolutely. Share and obviously, as this goes out, it'll be about 4 days before Halloween, I think. Yeah.
So if you've got events coming up and Halloween hasn't got, because someone might have found this podcast 5 years down the line and at Christmas time, and Halloween was ages ago, but just let us know what your events are coming up. And someone might see it and then go to it. Yeah, possibly.
Be safe.
Yeah, be safe. That's the most important thing.
That's really important. Be respectful. Be kind. Remember, if you're out there doing it as a Ghostbuster, you represent the whole of the community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel that way about any franchise. You put that costume on and you're out there. All right, you might not be officially representing the franchise, like you're not working for Sony, but you are still representing that franchise. Yeah. And I always remember this comment from Matt Smith, who, if you don't know, was one of the Doctor Who's. Yeah. And it was something along the lines of, he tries to be nice to everyone because imagine how bad it'd be to meet the Doctor and he's an arsehole. Yeah. And I feel that same way about when I'm out in costume. If a little kid comes up to you and, oh my God, it's a Ghostbuster, treat them really, really nice. I always remember this thing. Now, this was a job I did in Southend 7-8 years ago, and there was a group outside around the car. Now, I couldn't remember the name of the group. It wasn't the Southend Ghostbusters, they were inside. But we were getting people coming in all day complaining about the Ghostbusters group outside, how they were being rude to the kids and miserable and all that. And it's like, don't, because you're just making it all look bad. You're making the franchise look bad.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
And why do it?
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing it. If you don't want to go out there and have fun and enjoy it and spread a little bit of joy to people, right? Then maybe cosplaying and events aren't for you. Yeah. It's as I say, you do get some of the members of the public, as we talked about earlier, that can be try and testy. But just try and treat them all with respect, right? Going forward.
Yeah, have a laugh. Yeah, have fun, because ultimately this is supposed to be.
It is supposed to be fun.
The whole thing's fun, whether it's collecting, whether it's dressing up, whether it's building props. It's all supposed to be.
As soon as it's not fun and it becomes stress and you're not enjoying it, it's time to step away.
Oh, right. Does that mean I don't have to do the podcast anymore?
See you later. Yeah. So I'm currently interviewing members for no, not really. Wouldn't be the same about Darren because he does all the hard work.
I do the editing, the promotion, I have the sex appeal. What do you bring?
There was a sex appeal and we raised nothing. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it actually cost us.
Yeah. What do I bring? I bring good looks, wit and charm. So yeah. But that saying, we'd like to wish you all a happy and amazing Halloween.
Except that one there.
Yeah, the one standing behind the guy at the back there that was in the last episode. Yep. Yeah, we got your card, Mark.
Yeah, we know.
Just, as we said, stay safe.
Yep, stay safe. Have a brilliant Halloween. Get loads of sweets if you go trick-or-treating.
Yeah, and make some memories.
Yeah, make memories.
Yeah, remember, photographs are always with you. Take photos because you'll look back on these in 10 or 15 years time. We do it now with stuff,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's really important. So have a great time.
Yeah, and we'll see you in the next episode, which will then be fast approaching the festive period.
Yeah. So in the meantime,
we are ready to believe you.
Drain for Twinkies and coffee and a busted chain. No more donuts, no more caffeine rain. Just saving the city and feeling the strain. Ray's got a plan, but it's held with tape. Egon's experiments always misbehave. Venkman's flirting, but it's all escape. While the bank account looks like a dried up lake. The last of the petty cash went down the drain. For Twinkies and coffee and a busted chain. No more donuts, no more caffeine rain. Just saving the city and feeling the strain. Ray's got a plan, but it's held with tape. Egon's experiments always misbehave. Venkman's flirting, but it's all escape. While the bank account looks like a dried up lake. The last of the petty cash went down the drain. For Twinkies and coffee and a busted chain. No more donuts, no more caffeine rain. Just saving the city and feeling the strain. Janine shouting, the budget's toast. Ghost traps buzzing, but we're broke the most. No no time to worry when there's a